Well, hello there.
God, I know that for a while.
No one has. Yes, I started Bayonetta 2.
Oh, you did? How is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what you want in a sequel for Bayonetta, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm very early on, but man, that game is sexy. There's no getting around that. Like this time, it just does not give a fuck. And she's in the nud within seconds of the game booting up.
Does she still do that walk?
You'd be happy to hear, James, that she still does that walk.
So she still struts. Okay.
Yeah, okay, right, I'll write that down. Struts. Yeah, no, you are one creepy motherfucker. No, it's, yeah, I mean...
What the hell? It's just...
What?
What's wrong with that? It's just, I just noticed the way she walks.
And then trying to get your wife to do it. Yeah, no, that's normal behaviour. What am I thinking?
Carl, don't tell me you've never... you probably never have you? Jo would kill you.
She would actually kill me. She could beat the shit out of me, that woman. Yeah. It's really funny because it sort of references itself a hell of a lot, and it's got loads of stupid... You know, like the bits where it would play music from old Sega games and stuff like that in Bayonetta 1?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when you're in the car and shit like that, and it's got like little nods to different Sega games and stuff. It does all that again, and it sort of really ramps it up, so it's coming out with references left, right and centre, and I just think that that's the sort of thing it needed. Do you know what I mean? It didn't need to be a serious sequel. It could just, like, it was like them saying, okay, we're going to fuck about now, and it fucking works. It's, you know, Bayonetta's amazing, and the sequel looks, I mean, it's nothing to write home about, because it won't have the same, well, it hasn't had the same impact as the first game, because that was, you know, so special, but, yeah, no, I'm impressed, and I'm looking forward to getting into it again, definitely. How are you getting on with the first one?
Yeah, I still need to finish it. I'm getting closer to the end, I think. But it's just, it has started to get a little bit tricky. And, yeah, it's starting to annoy me a bit. But, yeah, I've got further than you got, but it's still, yeah, it's starting to get a bit irritating.
Yeah, I don't know why I dropped out. I think, those boats pissed me off quite a bit. And,
yeah, they are irritating.
And it was like, oh, now I've got to jump on that and stuff like that. And, I felt that I just had my fill, if you know what I mean. Like, it didn't feel like I needed to complete it to sort of really enjoy it. I enjoyed what I played, and I'd rather do that and sort of stick with it and get tired of it towards the end, you know. But yeah, Bayonetta.
But yeah, speaking of filth, I ordered Dead or Alive 5.
Good.
Yeah, the full thing, because I had the download one on Xbox One, but it's rubbish because it doesn't have anything with it unless you just keep honing up cash.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'd just rather buy the disc. So I'm looking forward to that turning up.
Yeah, I mean, I need to get back on that. From what I played, I've absolutely loved it. Like, it was the sort of Dead or Alive game that I was hoping 5 would be. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot more unlocks and less reliant. It relies less on, like, microtransactions and stuff. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I've just got to play it a little bit more. So maybe you getting it is going to be the nod. Also, we are seriously thinking about attempting. You've not done the Vault of Glass on Destiny yet, have you?
No, I've not done anything on Destiny. We haven't played it for weeks.
Yeah, we've definitely got a team building, so we need to get to a point where we can do the raid, definitely. Because the new DLC's out soon. Can't wait. Love a bit of Dest.
Well, I've been playing Battlefield 4.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because I got, on the EA Access thing.
Oh, that's
right. It was free. Well, not free, but it's part of it. So I thought I'd just give it a go.
That thing with your mic is happening again. I don't know what you're doing.
Hang on. How's that? Is that all right?
I don't know. Carry on.
Oh, it's all right. It's fine. No one cares.
That's a good point, actually. That is a fair point.
But anyway, as I was saying, Yeah, I haven't played a Battlefield game for a while, but I've been playing the campaign, which you're probably going to say
Why are you doing that?
And well, because the thing is, right, is I quite enjoy like single player, first person shooters, and I haven't played Call of Duty for a long time, and to be honest, I don't really like the direction they've gone in with it, because it's like it's all like the further into the future they're going, the more it's becoming.
Yeah, that is getting on my tits as well. It's like, okay, yeah, we've done the future now, lads. Let's get back to the past, baby. Let's go back.
A couple of years is all right. It's just that like going like you got like robots and all that kind of stuff. It starts to get a bit like I just play Halo or whatever.
Titanfall does that perfectly.
Exactly.
Don't try and compete with them because you're going to fucking lose. The new trailers sort of really disappointed me as well. It's like, can we just go back to World War II? And funny enough, 7-8 years ago, we'd be saying, what? Like, because they really did overdo World War II. But now it's like, at least, it's not fucking men in robot suits again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I see what attracts me to Battlefield is the fact that, like, it's not really futuristic. Do you know what I mean? It still feels more sort of like real world. And also, like, the campaign, to me, the campaign looked interesting because I was immediately interested because part of it was based in Shanghai.
I cannot believe how anyone would be interested by that campaign, but go on.
Well, how much have you played of it? Because actually, I don't think you played any of it, have you? Because on the the thing, it comes up because it gives you the leaderboard thing, and you've got 0 points for most missions.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played enough of it really, but what I did play of it, it was like, okay, why does this exist?
Well, either way, I'm 2 missions from the end of it, and
no way,
probably. But come on, it's really short. The whole game is about 5 hours long.
Okay.
Which, like, if you'd spent like 50 quid on it, you'd be really gutted because you just in that if you weren't playing multiplayer, obviously, which is obviously why would you be buying a Battlefield game?
Yeah.
But it's still. It was. I mean, I'm near the end of it, but it does just feel like a massive wasted opportunity because it. Like some of the maps look amazing. Like it looks really, really good. The story is terrible, and it's just I don't know. It just feels like a massive missed opportunity. They really could do something really good with that. Actually, if they actually cared.
Just like if it was open world or something, like I don't know, just something interesting. But instead, they seem hell bent on trying to be Call of Duty when they don't need to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean they're doing Call of Duty, but like badly. As in it's not interesting. It's really not interesting. And like you get to like drive a couple of tanks around, but it doesn't feel. I want to fly jets and stuff. That's what I liked about Battlefield. Is being able to do stuff like that. Like I think it was in Battlefield 3 and the single player campaign of that, which I was massively better than this one. I did get a massive rush the first time that you got to like pilot jets in that. It was brilliant. But in this, it just feels. It's just not so fun. But I want to try it online because I heard it's got loads of problems. But I'd like to try some multiplayer.
It did have loads of problems. I thought they'd fixed it. I mean, I was really lucky because the first first couple of months, everyone was saying it was absolutely diabolical. But I seem to have missed those problems because I didn't have an issue with it. It's good. Like it is good, but it's no Battlefield 3. Like it wants to be bigger and better when it doesn't really need to be. Like it gets really manic online because there are so many players. I think it's 64 players online, and it's just like okay, you get the whole spawn kill thing, die, whatever, and it's just it really lost.
It's just the thing. Like more players is not often better. I mean,
Mag.
You remember Mag? Yeah, exactly. Michael loved that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He did. Like an idiot.
But yeah, it was. That was terrible. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to finish it because it's not difficult and it's I'm only about a half an hour from the finish line. So finish it. But
should I try it? Should I bother?
No, don't bother. You'll hate it.
Okay.
The
the biggest shame was that Hardline was supposed to be, hey, look, we can do single player experiences, but apparently that was really disappointing as well. Like it had a really good opening level apparently, and then just went completely downhill from there. So yeah, gutting really. Gutting. I've sort of fell out of love with the Battlefield universe, if you want to call it that. I'm not that bothered about the Star Wars thing either.
Yeah, but you don't. I mean, you've never. Okay, can I just clarify this? Have you ever seen Star Wars?
Nah. No,
See, that blows my mind that you've never seen that.
Yeah, but I'm younger than you, innit? So it was like, sort of passed me by a bit. That was for the the older ones.
The older ones. That's so sad.
How old are you?
I'm not telling you that. You know how old I am.
No, I don't actually. How old are you?
You don't?
33.
I'm younger than mine. Put it that way.
34.
Yeah, I'm around that.
You in your 40s yet?
No, you're joking. I'm 34.
What? You are 34. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? There's an age between us, like fucking age. So yeah, it's, unfortunately, I missed that era. But I don't know. No, what it was, right, is that my mum and dad, they were never into it. I didn't know anyone that was really into it growing up.
I can really imagine your dad dressed up as a stormtrooper.
You know what I mean? It's like when you're at a certain age, like parents put certain films on, not out of choice, but it's just in their library or whatever. And that never really. What's that?
Or did you have Gremlins?
Yeah, we had Gremlins. We had a bit of Karate Kid. We had the Labyrinth a lot.
That film.
The Worst Witch. Did you ever hear about that one?
Yeah.
The BFG, that was on quite a bit. Just a load of shit, basically. Yeah, it's got to be interesting, right? But yeah, so I never really got into it. And then by the time that I was thinking, I got to the age that I was like, okay, this is an important piece of cinema, I should watch it. It was like, there was so much pressure. It was, I got about halfway through the first one and went, nah, I'll leave it. Which is probably the wrong thing to do. Back to the Future.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be why, like, with Battlefront, you won't get anything with that, because the whole thing is it's just playing on nostalgia. Like that, the feeling of like people that are really into that. So you'll get nothing.
I noticed that lots of people going, "Oh, look at that at." I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, mate.
Yeah, see, I grew up during the time when there was like the golden era of like Star Wars games as well. Like on PC, there was like X-Wing and TIE Fighter, and it was brilliant. It was a really good time.
We had that one on the Atari 2600 where you had the paddles instead of the joysticks, and you had to. There was like you were controlling the lightsaber with the paddle. Fuck, what was that called? Star Wars something, I bet. I can't remember the name of it.
Probably was just called Star Wars, yeah.
I remember my dad coming home with an Atari 2600 once and this big like wooden box full of like games, and that was one of them. What?
Hang on. Because you're like younger than me. That was like, when I was young, that machine was ancient.
Oh yeah.
That must have been such a disappointment to get that.
No, because we weren't really like grown up. We didn't grow up around video games. Like, my dad bought the Atari 2600 was always about, but we barely played it. Then he got an Atari STE, which was probably really out of date when he bought it home as well. And it had like this plastic box full of like copied games, just fucking tons of them, because you could do that back then. It was fine. No one cared.
See, that's what I like. Is like back then it was okay. That's like The Office, like kind of before racism was bad. It's like piracy was fine back then.
Yeah. Well, it kind of was, and it wasn't. I remember the amount of times that I put one of those floppy disks in and thought, yes, come on, I'm going to play this new game, I can't wait. And it come up, look at page 14, word 2, on paragraph 7 of the manual. What is it? If you haven't got it, you've clearly copied the game, fuck you. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. That one goes in the bin. And as I said, I've said on Joypod before that it was at the time where you could put a floppy disk into your computer game. Like, you could buy a brand new game, put the floppy disk in the computer, and like accidentally delete it off the floppy disk. Yeah. And that was it. You were just left with a blank floppy disk. But yeah, it wasn't until the N64 that I started getting into games, and then like the Xbox was the one that really sort of, like, when I decided, okay, this is my hobby, this is my favourite thing now. Which is crazy.
I know the first thing we had was a BBC Master, which was a horrible machine, and we only had it because my dad was a what's it called, head teacher in a school, and schools always had those, so he used to bring it home on the holidays, and we used to play Granny's Garden.
Yeah.
And also, but Defender as well. We had Defender, which was pretty good.
Sure.
But my whole thing really started properly when I won. I've told you this, haven't I? How my first video game console.
You won it?
I told you this. Can't remember. Yeah, I won a Sega Master System 2 in a Rice Krispies competition.
That's incredible. What did you collect the little tops?
Yeah, you like collected tokens, then you had to like write a tiebreaker, and then
what was the tiebreaker?
And I don't know. It's
come on!
I totally don't remember. It was ages ago, but I mean, I was about 8 years old. It was a long time ago. But it's funny because you see, my dad really, really didn't want me to have any
Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
He really didn't want you to have any Rice Krispies.
No, he really, really didn't want me to have any like video games, like really, because he was like, he didn't think there were any value or anything. So he was really pissed off when it turned up, because I'd like done it sort of like not secretly, but I'd been sending them all off and everything.
Not proud of you for winning a fucking video game. Not saying well done, boy, you've won a competition there. I'm proud of you.
He wasn't that happy about it, but
get it out of my house, and it's not your birthday either.
So that was my first sort of thing into it, and then I remember it came with Alex Kidd built in, and I played that to death. Eventually finished it and was really disappointed with the ending because it literally just came up and said well done, and it's like it's a really brutally hard game, like, especially 8 years towards old, the end.
You were sitting there going, well, what happens to Alex?
Yeah. And I remember then also I saved up £10, which took a long time on 50p a week, like pocket money. Yeah. And I managed to go, I went down to like Dixon's and I got like one of the budget range games, which was called Transbot. And it was probably one of the worst games ever made. But I remember I just trying to convince myself that it was good and trying to like trade it with other people at school for like good things. And but they got wise to it really quickly and everyone was like, no, that's rubbish.
I did that with Rise of the Robots. I rented Rise of the Robots from Blockbuster and thought, this is amazing. This has to be amazing. But even at the time, I took it back and thought, I should get another game for this for my money. You absolute charlatan. Have you won any other like video game related stuff?
I don't think so. I think that was the big entry point. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, see, I did that. I wrote into official Sony magazine and won a £50 voucher. I got a star letter and won a £50 voucher.
I've had a couple of those. I've had a couple of star letters in magazines. Yeah.
What did you win for that?
I had Games Master. I had letters in that, and I won. It's just like you can choose a game. And it's like, so then, I got Daggerfall. Yeah, this is a long time.
It was the same sort of thing for me because it was £50 voucher. I've told this before, but we'll hear it again. And it was for Virgin Megastores, I think, at the time. So I thought, right, Metal Gear Solid 2's just come out, and that's meant to be really good. I remember playing the demo a lot, so I said, right, I'll get that. And I thought, well, I'm flush with the cash, £50, I'll get the special edition, which come in like a tin box and everything. And she said, okay, there you go. I paid for it all, and I walked out, and I looked, and there was 2 cases in there, and I just thought, oh, one must be like a load of bonus
making of,
all that sort of shit, and the other one must be the game. I got it home, I opened up the tin case, and the 2 boxes were identical, and I thought, no, she'd put. I don't know how many people she'd done this for that day, but she put the special edition and the regular edition in there by accident. So the next day I took it back and said, oh yeah, I bought the wrong one or whatever. And they gave me £50 back.
I thought you were going to do like the honest thing and go, yeah, you made a mistake with this. And you're like, no, I'm going to rip you off.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was a kid, James. I didn't have any sort of, morals or anything. You're just like, when you're that age, you're like, fucking yes. I remember being outside a game shop once. I remember,
changed.
I remember being outside a game shop once and finding a £50 note on the floor just outside the game shop and just pocketing it, walking in and looking for a game to spend it on. And my sister was going, but what if someone has lost that £50? And I'm going, shut up. We're in the shop. They're probably in it, you stupid cow. The other thing I won, games related, was Burnout 2 on the Xbox. Because I had Burnout 2 on the PS2, I think it was at the time, and I played it to death. I mean, to absolute death. Like, that first level, I knew with my eyes closed. It was like that hardcore. And it came out, I think, about a year later on Xbox. And I walked into Game Station at the bottom of Sutton, and they had the Xbox version hooked up to a TV, and they said, we're doing Crash mode, and whoever gets the highest score in Crash wins the game. So I went, yeah, I'll give it a go. Of course, I knew it like the back of my hand. So I tripled like the top score at the time. And I remember there was a woman behind it. I went, a little 12-year-old had that score. And, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. Just have a one. Yeah, good. Give me the game, please.
See, I had a friend who did a similar thing to that because he had a copy of, I think it was Vagrant Story, like one of those like RPGs on original PlayStation, and he had an import copy, like the Japanese version that he'd been playing for ages, and then the local game shop had a competition to like beat this boss in like whatever, like as quickly as possible, and he did exactly the same thing. He'd been playing it for probably about 6 or 7 months. And then he walked in there and just destroyed whoever it had been by by a huge amount of time.
Did I ever tell you about the time I got Banjo-Kazooie? The first one?
Yeah, was that the bribery? Was that when you...
Yeah. If there's one moment in my life that I would love to sit down and watch on telly again, it would probably be that, sadly enough. Because I thought I was the dog's bollocks. I walked in, I spotted a copy of Banjo-Kazooie behind the counter, and went, excuse me, is that Banjo-Kazooie? And it wasn't out for another month. So I don't know what had happened, but this is totally true. Because I remember having completed it, my dad pointed out the advert, all Banjo-Kazooie out tomorrow, and he was like, you've completed this, haven't you? I was like, yeah. I walked up and I said, can I buy that game? And he was like, no, it's not out for another month. And then I put a £5 down on the counter and slid it over to him. And he went and got it. Yeah, fucking ridiculous. There you go. Oh, that poor shop, the stock exchange. We did rip them off too much. I mean, they don't exist anymore, obviously. But me and my mates, they used to price up their games. They didn't used to scan barcodes in. They used to put, those little yellow tags on with the price on them. Yeah. They used to do that to all their games, and they didn't know anything about games. So you could just walk in there, pick up a brand new release, take a $1.99 sticker off one game, put it on the brand new one, take it up and walk out with it. It was just ridiculous. Those poor fuckers. Ah, what a horrible person. Now we'll start with game. Now what do you want?
That's all that's left, isn't there? There's nothing else left, is there? Well, no, CX and stuff like that.
So yeah, I know, I feel dirty every time you go in there.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? Yeah. Mind you, game's pretty... No, it's not. I really rarely go in places like that anymore, because it's like... Before it used to be... Do you remember the excitement of going... Well, okay, maybe you don't, but, excitement of going in a game shop and thinking, I might find something in here. Yeah, and it's absolutely. You're going through the racks and thinking, I might find something which is a reasonable price that's really good or whatever. But nowadays, that you're not going to get that, and that definitely you can find it online for cheaper.
Cheaper, yeah. Yeah,
and it does kind of destroy the sort of the thing. And it's a bit of a shame.
Well, browsing was always a big thing when I was a kid. To just go up to a huge rack of games and flick through them and think, I've heard of that one, and read the back of the box and stuff like that. It's weird. It was just such a huge part growing up. I remembered the excitement that I had with a bunch of old games in my bag and thinking, how much am I going to get for these? and what can I get like with that money, and like the excitement of riding on my bike up to the game shop. And if I was a few quid under, I'd just switch it price tags, but it was still exciting. The thrill of the hustle, James.
Yeah,
kids don't know what's it now.
My favourite picture
digitally. What the fuck? Your favourite picture?
My favourite picture of you is that one of you. I think it's in game where you're playing on like a DS or something, and there's that kid standing next to you also playing on it. It's really good. It's a really good picture. Yeah, there's that picture of you in a game. I think you're in game or somewhere, and you're playing video games, and there's like a tiny child next to you playing video games. Because Joe put it up on Facebook, I think it was, and she's just like, look at this.
I have literally no idea.
Have you never seen this?
No, I don't.
I have to see if I can find it because it's really funny.
You sure it wasn't when me and you were playing FIFA at my wedding?
No. That's a whole other kettle of fish. So this was definitely. I've seen this picture somewhere. I'm gonna have to find it because it's really funny. It's like it just looks good. It's a good picture.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Right. Okay. What do you want? What are you doing? Dark Souls.
Oh, yeah. Can I just ask you one last question?
Go on.
How are you feeling now?
Oh, now we're relegated. No one cares about this. So I don't know. I'm not too bad. We needed it to happen. We've been on the brink for 3 years. You know what I mean? So it's not like we can say, "Oh, we were so unlucky to go down," or "We didn't deserve it." We fucking did. Like, if there's one team that deserves to go down, it was us. So, Blackpool first, then Wigan, then us. So I can't complain. It's just.
Do you think you're going to come back up?
Not straight away. We'll probably have a few years down there, sort of rebuild and see what happens. But I don't think we'll come straight back up. It's a tough league to get out of, James. Not that you would know. It's the Premier League.
True Blue.
Let's just support them because they win. All right, go on.
That's totally not true. When I was a kid, they never win anything.
Don't try and go on.
Anyway, so Blighttown.
Where everybody knows your name. How far into it are you?
I've got one other. Okay, I've got a problem. First of all, I need to discuss with you.
Right, go on. If it's frame rate, I'm going to be pissed off.
No, I'm cursed.
Excellent.
Now, can you imagine how much worse that's made Blighttown for me?
Yeah, you don't have to do that curse, mate. Where did you get cursed?
Well, okay, I fancied having right around the depths.
Yeah.
I just thought I'll have a wander around down here. And I met some frogs, obviously.
Yeah.
And then, I got cursed.
I fucking warned you, didn't I?
What can I do about this, though?
Firstly, have you noticed those big spiky statues everywhere?
Which ones?
They're like, not big spike, they're about the same height as you. Around where the frogs are, there's like these spiky statues. They're people that have got cursed in their own game. How cool is that? Cool. It is.
Yeah.
Right, here's where you got to go, because you don't want to do Blighttown Cursed, it's ridiculous. You know where you rang that first bell?
Oh, yeah.
So, set an evening aside, and go back there, and you know that dude with his arms out?
What?
You know that dude at the bottom of the tower, but you know when you run up to ring the bell and you run back down, there's a dude with his arms out talking at you and you don't really...
Oh, yeah, I do remember, yeah.
Right, he can get rid of your curse. There is an item that you can take down to get rid of your curse, like, instantly, but I can't remember what that is, and I don't know where you get it from. I never used it. I only got cursed once. And that's what I was telling you with those frogs. The first time I went down into the depths, I got cursed. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Well, what's going on? And then when I found out where you had to go, I nearly chucked the fucking Xbox out the window. Like, I was well fucked up. So I was waiting for the moment you were going to ring me up and tell me you're cursed. But it sounded like you'd managed to avoid it. Sadly not.
So, and also at the wrong moment. But the thing is, I'm looking at this as a plus, though, because I wouldn't mind going back up there because I want to meet the blacksmith again because I think I'd quite like to have some of my armour upgraded and stuff. So
sorted.
I could use it as that.
Set yourself a little mission, go out there, get uncursed, go back down, sort the blacksmith out. Then obviously now that you're more aware that they spit this sort of cursed gas at you, you'll you'll be able to avoid it easier. Did you venture into Blighttown at all, or?
I did, yeah. I mean, I
far
went
did you get?
down there. Well, obviously not very far with only half my health, but okay. Is there any? Because see, the thing that annoyed me, right, is I got down there and there was those huge like tree. I don't know what the fuck they are.
The big
Let's be
fuckers,
honest. Yeah, those things with the big.
Clubs.
I don't know, bits of wood or whatever. Yeah, clubs.
Okay, the clubs. Yeah, that's what you call clubs. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I met those, and they're not too difficult actually. You know, they're quite easy. They're really slow, and you can just
the worst
dodge out
thing
the
is
way.
where they are, because they're on that really tight.
Which you can fall off
line.
the sides, which is really irritating.
Yeah.
But that didn't only happen once. But so I did those. And I was like, okay, this isn't so bad. Started walking down a bit further, then got attacked by they're goblins or whatever.
Those little skin things.
Yeah. Also, again, easy, knocked them around a bit. And then suddenly it just said, like toxic or poison or whatever. And I was like, what? That? And then you start going down, and then it's like your health's going down. You're like, okay, these Estus flasks aren't going to last very long, especially with half your health. And then I died. And I'm just thinking, what do you do here? What's the point of this?
Right, okay. I don't know, I don't know if you want it spoiled or not, really. But
yeah, spoil it.
you got hit by something. You got hit by something that made you toxic. You need to be aware. It's silent, and it comes from one place, and you've got to work out where it's coming from. Should I just tell you?
It's like a goblin sniper or something.
But that's it, exactly it. There's dudes with poison darts. Thankfully, the good thing is, you kill them, they don't respawn. So, that's good. But you've got to find these goblins. They're out in the open. They're not hidden away. But I think they're black, like they're like a shadow. So you've got to search for them. But you'll start noticing darts being flung at you. And that obviously shows you where they are, because they're coming from their direction. But yeah, that's a pain in the arse. But just know that once you kill them once, that's it. They're done. They're gone. So you don't have to worry about it too much. Yeah, it's good. I like Blighttown. It's fun.
Okay, so what do? I try and get rid of those, obviously, after I've got rid of this curse, and then I just keep going down. Is that the plan?
Keep going down. Blighttown is sort of like a vertical town. It's at the bottom of it is a swamp, and you've basically got to. There's a few leaps of faith. So constantly be on the guard, because enemies can come from anywhere, and look down constantly, because there might be a platform below that you can jump to, and you sort of slowly make your way down. Yeah, that's it. Basically, that's Blighttown. So you've got a lot to do. Get uncursed, sort out your weapons, and then make your way down Blighttown. Don't huff. It's a good game.
I know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow night.
What?
I'm going to be doing that. Oh no, I'm going to be making my way back to that blacksmith.
Why wait till tomorrow night? Why not just sling it on now?
I've got a whole ton of essays I'm marking at the moment.
3 in the morning.
I've got time.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll leave you to it.
Yep. Ta.
Enjoy.
Yeah, I will. I don't know. I'm just not looking forward to this bit. Like I said, I think it's mostly just because of the reputation that it's got.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's already irritated me.
Blighttown's fine. It's fun. You just got to, keep your head up. Basically, get through it. Once you've done it, then you're the man. That's it.
I am the man. Okay.
See you later, James.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.